days, I ride the greasy train. I'll implement destruction. Cause Beelzebub is my Beelzebub is my name. Beelzebub is my name. Beelzebub is my name. Beelzebub is my name. My breath, it smells of barnacles. My eyes reflect the flame. You can spell it out in Chinese. Beelzebub is my name. Beelzebub, 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 Beelzebub is mine.
This is a side street on the Lower East Side. This scene was photographed on infrared film. Our camera was mounted in a packing case with a false two-way glass front, and a small transistorized microphone was taped under the door handle.
What's your name? Secret. What's yours? Do you dig masochism at all?
Huh?
Dig getting beaten?
Well, I never tried that.
What goes for $10?
Well, what do you want for $10?
I want something different. I want something special.
Oh, no, honey, not for $10.
How about your friend?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, baby.
What's your name? Secret. What's yours?
By the way, you pay the room.
We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December.
And maybe we'd be so overcome with joy, we might even make love to each other.
Well, I'm looking for something unusual, something different.
Maybe like these?
Let me see that again, honey.
I'm
Wait.
sorry, you already got got your free sample. How much do you want, huh?
It's very nice.
Next time you gotta pay for it, buddy.
Well, how much would that cost?
Look, I'll make it cheap. I'll make it 20.
We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December. We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December.
Well, what do you want for $10?
We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December. We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December. We got instant action, deep satisfaction, and experience you'll always remember. We got instant action with all the passion from January to December.
What's your name?
Secret. What's yours?
Hey, everybody, it's your pal Count Jackula from Planet Dracula. Oh, man. Oh, and I'm glad to see you all today, fellow heathens. Are we all doing well? Let's get a what? What? Let's get a Hail Satan. Hail Satan. Oh, boy. Man. So, who's with us today? We got Jamin the Wanderer. We got Blake the Gambling Hero. The Boob Tube. Ah, yes. Hey, how you doing? Captain Lazar. Rick Classic. Jay Tilton. Bunch of people. Yogi might be joining us in a little bit. Probably an hour or two. But until then, I'm going to run a little solo. Hey, Flashman. How you doing? So it's basically... let's see. Ice Cat says, how you doing? I am you, big fan. Ooh. Cool. Well, then what you need to do is you need to you come around in the summer or convert yourself into a heater and come in the winter if you're a big fan. Ooh. Oh, boy. So, last night I watched a movie that I hadn't seen in quite some time called Clear Cut. It's a movie made back in 1991. It's one of them, I don't even, probably best way to call it is one of them real engine movies, you know, where it's like, no, we're not playing Tonto, we're not playing none of that shit. Like, let's get into the fucking nitty gritty and get into what it's like being a Native American in America or Canada today. You know, and obviously today was like the 90s, but let's be honest, it ain't gotten much better. It's all about this lawyer who's trying to save a like a sacred site up in Canada from a logging camp. And he fails. He can't do it. You know, like, they got the legal right of everything. They're pushing everything through. He's got nothing. And he's pissed. He's super pissed. He doesn't know what to do. And the elder of the tribe was like, tell you what, why don't you join this medicine ceremony, and so you can figure out what you really want. You know, and this is like, you know, like white lawyer guy. He's, you know, kind of schlubby, like, schlubby's the wrong word. He's kind of milquetoasty, like, you know, like he believes in conscientious subjectivism or whatever, you know, big pacifist. But when he goes into the medicine trance, all he thinks about is violence. Just fucking violence. Just fucking, he's gonna find this logging guy and he just wants to kill him. You know, so he's got this pacifism which he lives by, but it's covering up this deep desire to just fucking commit homicide and violence. And this is where Graham Greene enters the picture. Y'all might remember Graham Greene from such things as Dances with Wolves. He was the Indian chief in that movie. He was also in a show called Northern Exposure, if you remember that. I actually used to really like Northern Exposure. It was about a bunch of people up in Alaska, and it had a large quotient of its cast was Native American, because it was like, well, it's fucking Alaska, and they would deal with, like, it was like this kind of bizarre dramatic comedy that would occasionally take these really bizarre metaphysical turns. It was a pretty good show often. I think my favorite episode is that there's this young Native American dude who wants to be a filmmaker, and he starts being haunted by the ghost of Federico Fellini. That's probably my favorite episode. But let me see if I can find like a clip of Graham Greene from Northern Exposure, because he's one of those guys with like an amazing fucking face. Yeah, the guy just had an amazing fucking face. Hold on. Graham Greene. No. I need the actor Graham Greene. There we go. Come on. Yeah, there we go. This is the theme song of Northern Exposure. So you can tell it was supposed to be kind of a wacky show. Alright, so this up here is picture Graham Greene. Like, he played like the local shaman slash psychiatrist. Like, he had a psychiatry practice, but he was also a shaman. And he would say, like, he would do really cool shit. One of my favorites being, there's this girl who is trying to figure out whether she wants to get married, and she keeps seeing dancers everywhere. And at one point, and she runs into Graham Greene, and behind him are like the living color fly girls, because that was a thing. And he looks at this girl who's having this hallucination, and he goes like, "Oh, you see him?" She's like, "See what?" dancers. It's like, you could see him too. He's like, no, I get to see the signs. Signs of what? Signs of people seeing dancers. There's a slight confusion, sort of involuntary rhythmic sleep. And then he like fucks off, you know? I always like that character. So he was in. So this guy Graham Greene was in a movie called Clear Cut, which is, I guess at the time would have been called a thriller. But it's a lot closer to a horror movie, you know. But it's a horror movie, like kind of in the vein of like the original Hills Have Eyes, or The Hitcher. You know, it's and it has this one really gruesome scene where a guy's getting skinned alive, and even though it's not gory for horror, it's really it was like this was the moment in the movie where like it happens, you're just like, oh my god. Like it was like this was the kind of shock that most people wouldn't experience until like Hostel or Saw. You know, even though it wasn't as bloody as those movies, it was just because it was supposed to feel like, you know, real, and it wasn't supposed to be like, you know, blood was gushing everywhere. It's just like, no, I'm skinning this guy alive, and it's supposed to feel like a guy's actually doing it. And so the milquetoasty lawyer runs into Graham Greene. This is Graham Greene. This picture is recent of Graham Greene. So back in the 90s, he had like, you know, just really long black hair. And I think he filmed this back to back with Dances with Wolves. Anyway, so they're up in the Pacific Northwest, in Canada rather than America, and he just shows up one day, and he's just sort of like, oh, who are you? You know, and he puts on like Graham Greene. You could tell he has a little bit of a Native American accent, but in this one, he really plays it up. You know, he really plays it up. You know, like, ooh, what are you doing here, white man? You know, like he does that kind of shit. And the guy's like, I don't know, I just wish I could have saved this sacred site. Oh, really? What happened? Lost. Oh. What do you want to do about it? I want to go up there and get the CEO of that logging company and fucking skin him alive. It's like, okay. Okay, what are you talking about? Okay. And this Graham Greene just drags this guy over the Pacific Northwest as he is torturing this log camp owner. You know, and the white guy's just feels like he's going crazy because he's like, wait, there's no, what the fuck's going on? You know, who is this guy? What's going on? And occasionally the tribal elder will appear to him and will tell him a story. Appear to the white guy and tell him a story. It'd be like, let me tell you about Wasekajek. He was God, his spirit sent down, teach mankind how to live. What he calls strife. Too much blood. He had to be stopped. And so what the movie is really about is it's about violence versus non-violence and which one is more effective. You know, because at some point, if pacifism's going to be effective, it has to stop violence. And sometimes the only way to stop violence is with violence. And so it creates this really good, it presents this really interesting quandary, you know, and Graham Greene just does all the shit that if you were in his situation, you would want to do. You know, someone's annoying you, someone's being two-faced, fucking terrorize them. Make them afraid. Now, the funny thing is the movie has very low body count. People do get killed, but there aren't, like, a lot of people. It's like you'd probably count all the bodies on one hand, have a few fingers left over. But it really gets his point across that, like, at the end of the day, if this dude, who's this dude gonna help? And how? Because in order to maintain nonviolence, he has to save the life of a man he hates. And is he gonna do that? The story does not. The story has a very mysterious ending. It has an ending. There's a definitive ending. You are not sure whether it is a good ending or a bad ending. You know, is this a happy ending or a sad ending? You know, like, is this bad? Did he hold true to his convictions? Or was he convinced that the path of violence is the way to go? Movie doesn't really spoon feed you that. Although the immediate drama is resolved. You know, does the guy live? Does the logging camp owner get killed? You know, but the big mysterious question is Graham Greene a spirit? Is he Wasikajak? You know, is he? Or is he something else? Or is he just some crazy Indian? You know, like it's such a good movie. You can find it on YouTube right now. Just put in Clear Cut 1991, and you can find it. There's not an official release. There hasn't been an official release of this movie in a long ass fucking time. I need Arrow Video to fucking track this thing down, give it a 4K restoration. You know, because it's good. It's good. You know, it's not the bloodiest movie you'll ever watch. It's not the most violent, but definitely for the time, it was super shocking. Like the skidding sequence itself, you know, and it's got and Graham Greene is so beautifully sarcastic in this movie. You know, he looks at the white guy and is like, "Ooh, maybe I should skin him. Take a scalp. There'd be a real engine. I ought to be a real engine, shouldn't I?" You know, and so he's super fucking with this guy the entire time. Like, yeah, I know what you think of my people. I know what you think of us. Now let me use that to fuck with you. Damn, this is really good. It is a really good flick. So I watched that. It is pretty good. And yeah, I kind of watched it because I needed a little bit of fucking cinematic therapy. You know, because it's been a rough week. You know, like shit was just getting to me. I don't even know how else to describe it. Shit was getting to me. It's a lot of little things. You know, it's one of those things. Like that's a shit you got to watch out for. A lot of little things. Like big thing, yeah, I just got to put the poster for the movie up here. A lot of little things. You know, one of them being look, one of the side effects of having Donald Trump as a goddamn president. Blast Action asks, have you ever read the Vertigo comics Scalped? No, but I have read Ghost Dance. I really liked Ghost Dance. You know, that was written by Jamie Delano, who is the main who wrote was the primary writer of Hellblazer. Even though Alan Moore created the character, most of what you know about Hellblazer comes from Jamie Delano. Which, he was a great writer. Like, not nearly as celebrated as he should be, because he stands in the shadow of Alan Moore and Grant Morrison, but he was the guy you called when you needed someone to write a story that, like, one of those guys had started without such a dip, without having a dip in quality. You know, so when he wrote Hellblazer, it was always good. It was always good. You know, when he wrote any of that shit, he was just great.
I got them heavy boobs, dance like dying stars. I got them heavy boobs. I can't run real far.
Hopefully a $20 will brighten your day a bit.
Vertigo Ghost Dance. Now, this is the thing that's kind of interesting about this is Dead Boy Detective. Let's see if okay, Ghost Dance, one word. Let's see if we can find it. Ghost Dancing. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, boo doo 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 doo. No. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Ghost Dancing. This was a comic. It was very obviously written because at the time, you know, like kind of the Real Engine movement was kind of in full swing in the 90s. But Ghost Dancing is really good. You know, written by a white guy. Well, not entirely white guy, but like, I think Jamie Delano is I think he's a little Spanish, but like, you know, anyway, point is, so he does a story called Ghost Dancing. It's actually pretty good. It's all about the great Native American spirits trying to find white buffalo woman in the modern America. And this is before American Gods was written. Like, if you read this story, you're gonna be like, oh damn, there's a lot of like American Gods style stuff in here. But it's very, very focused on like, you know, like the Apache and the Hopi and like all that shit. And it was really good. It's really, really good. I don't know if you can get this. I don't know if you should be able to. Maybe you can get a Ghost Dance Vertigo comic, graphic novel, Amazon. Let's see if I can find this baby. If not, oh no, it doesn't look like you can. Oh wait. Hold on. Oh, no, it's out of print. It's totally out of print. Fuck. Well, fucking check out, like, see if you could find it in, like, bins at your local comic convention and shit. You know, because I recommend it. It's only like 6 issues. It was a miniseries. But it was really good. And if you like American Gods, you're going to really like Ghost Dancing. You know, because it's a lot of the same shit. The main character is Coyote. Old Man Coyote. You know, who in the comic, like, he goes between looking like a coyote, a guy with a coyote's head, and kind of like gray and like fucking gray-haired Danny Trejo. You know, so if they ever did a movie or a television show based off of that, or hey, oh shit, they canceled American Gods, didn't they? Didn't they cancel that? Hold on, let me double check. Do. American Gods canceled or season 2 production details. Oh, American God Season 2 is definitely happening with some fresh faces behind the scene. Okay, so it's still like, so we're still going on. Still going on. So, or you could adapt the stories in Ghost Dancing and put them in American Gods, the television show, very fucking easily. Like they fit right in. You know, but you could do some of the gnarly shit today in a show like American Gods that fucking the comic did with like Old Man Coyote gnawing his own arm off and shit. It's a pretty good story. I really liked it. And the whole thing is they have to find White Buffalo Woman because until White Buffalo Woman dances, Thunderbird cannot return. And it had this amazing fucking depiction of Thunderbird. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go, Ghost Dance Thunderbird. Come on, images. Okay. All right, here's the cover. Oh, you gonna give me shit? Shit, you piece of shit. You can't. Can't do that. Save image as. Let's get this thing up here. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this guy up here. That's super cool. That is so cool. It's just like this huge gigantic raven made out of lightning and storm clouds. You know, you know, he's gonna fucking like if you ever fucking want to read a story where you're just like, you know what, fuck America, like fuck you, fuck you, white man. You know, like, but written by a kind of white guy who kind of gets it. You know, like, I recommend Ghost Dancing. Why didn't I need to keep that shit in print. I really love that story. This is really good. There's a lot of sex, drugs, and sex, drugs, and metaphysics. That's what Ghost Dancing's got. So it's good. It's good stuff. Yeah. Talons are thunderbolts. You know, like, oh, super cool. Yeah, it does kind of look like a Metallica album cover. I think that was partially the idea. It was to do that. You know, I wish people remembered this one more. It was really good. Let's see if we can find a picture of Jamie Delano. Jamie Delano. He's British, dude. Oh. So, properties. So, yeah, so this is. Boop. Yeah, all right, here's a boy. Here's a boy, Jamie Delano. So let's talk about him at the moment. Yeah, he's pretty good. He was a really good comics writer. He's one of those guys that like always kind of got put on the B list, but you could always depend on him to deliver. You know, like it's really weird. It's one of those things where he didn't get the recognition that like Moore or Grant Morrison did or Neil Gaiman. Because he wasn't necessarily as visionary a writer. But if you wanted a guy who was just gonna, like for instance, this is the type of guy you would want on a property like Doctor. You know, he'll do something weird, he'll do something quality, you know, and it'll be worth experiencing. You know, it might not melt your brain like Alan Moore would, but it's worth your $3 an issue. You know? Yeah. Let's see. Ice Cat says, I need to ask you something. What make a good horror movie animation season? I don't know. Is it fun? Is it good? Here's the thing about quality of any sort. It's kind of a foxy one. You know, it doesn't really like to be pinned down, because the first thing the quality has to have is it has to not be boring. You know, quality can't be boring. It has to be exceptional. Quality is an exceptional thing. You know, and you can't really it's really hard to quantify exceptional. You know, so I think that one of the problems that we have with the idea of you know, what is good or what is bad is that we have to actually be able to appreciate what is exceptional about the movie. And sometimes that's very strange. It's not always, and I don't mean strange as in an episode of Twin Peaks. I mean, like, sometimes it's really odd. Like, let's take Street Trash, for example, a movie I love. Street Trash is, by all accounts, a poorly made, you know, exploitation fucking movie about people exploding and melting after they drink toxic booze. Like, they don't even tell you where this fucking booze comes from, man. It just comes from the basement of a convenience store. You know, what's its origin? You don't know. They don't ever tell you. You know, why does it cause this thing to happen? Well, not gonna tell you. Because it's all about watching this gory shit happen. You know, and it's not like, and they got away with it. They got away with it because, like, they don't blood. They don't explode blood or vomit blood. It's always like, you know, neon pink and yellow and blue shit, you know, like, let's just see if we can find a clip. Yeah. All right. Come on. Oh, don't be that way. There we go. Got this guy over here. Man, I think they got rid of the audio on this one. Fuck it. Let's see if we can find a better clip. There we go. This is a better clip. Better one. We getting fucking. Let's get some sound. Oh man, something's gotten all janky with the fucking sound. Or did they remove it? I don't even know, man. Come on. They're building up to it. There's that Viper. Yep. There you go. There you go. You know, so you got a movie like that. You got a movie like Street Trash. Is that a good movie? It is to me. You know, because it just went all the way. You know, But if you're worried about, like, you know, common decency and shit like that, don't know, don't care. Yeah, I don't know, don't care. So quality is a weird one. God damn it. I think we lost, like, sound. Hold on, let me see if I can get back. Oh, Queenie Todd is also doing a stream.
And it just comes out, and it's because of
my sound is all fucked up. All fucked up. I don't like that. I don't care for that shit. See if we can figure this out. Volume mixer. All right. Gotta think. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's see if we got this. Got this. Why is it immediately going to Elgato sound capture? I don't want it to do that. All right, so let's turn off Elgato sound capture. And maybe it just... No. And we just fucked. Oh, shut up out there. Well, let's see what we can do. Playback devices. Default device. No. Set. You set as... No. Disable. No. Disable. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Bastards. Okay. Ooh. All right. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna restart this bitch. I'll be right back.